Hey guys, Kelly here with Mindful Bodyworks. So today we're going to be doing a Yin Yoga session. Yin Yoga is great for stretching the connective tissue. So you want to do this in the morning or in the evening, not necessarily in the middle of the day, although it wouldn't hurt. You just want to make sure that you don't warm up before you do a Yin Yoga session. All right. Now, most of our poses we hold 3 to 5 minutes. If for some reason that's too long for you, go ahead and back out of that pose very, very slowly and wait for the next pose. So let's get started. So we're going to start sitting up nice and tall. We'll begin with a meditation. So we're going to have our head over our low back or our sacrum. So nice and tall, like if someone was pulling a string out of the top of your head. You want your spine to be nice and relaxed, but straight like a pencil. So we'll close our eyes, relax our shoulders down away from our ears, and start our breath. So I want you to inhale and exhale, and inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. And do this for 3 more breaths, inhaling into the belly, filling the belly with breath, and exhaling, completely squeezing that belly button in on your exhales. And 1 more breath here. And I want you to focus on inhaling and pausing at the top of your inhale, and then exhale and pause. So I want you to work with that for about 5 breaths. If for some reason that's uncomfortable for you, just take that out. Just breathe normally. So inhale and pause. And exhale and pause. 4 more. And after your 5th breath, I want you to inhale on my count and exhale on my count. So we're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe normally and freely, inhaling and exhaling. Now that we've got our breath moving, we're going to go ahead and open our gaze nice and slow. Begin with our first pose, which is our neck release. So we're going to take our right hand down towards the mat, and we're going to bring our left ear towards our left shoulder. So again, you're still sitting up nice and tall from our meditation. Now I'm sitting on a block to help get my spine nice and tall. You could sit on a blanket or a pillow or even flat on your mat. So you want to find effort through reaching through the fingertips, but then you want to surrender to gravity and let that head pull over towards the left side. So breathing here, finding that breath, inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, and keep breathing on your own. We're going to have a few moments of stillness and quiet. Each exhale helps gravity lengthen through the neck and the shoulder. Starting to lengthen the breath, so inhaling a little bit longer now. And exhaling a little fuller. Keeping our core in nice and tight on those exhales, so bringing the belly button in every time we exhale. This helps support us and keep us nice and tall. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Nice, deep and controlled breaths into the belly. Exhaling, trying to stretch a little bit more. And last breath. And we're slowly going to come out of the pose and come to the other side. So the left hand will come down towards the mat. We're going to sit up nice and tall again first, and then we'll take that right ear towards the right shoulder. Again, finding your breath, inhale and exhale. Inhaling into the belly and exhaling, stretching, and let gravity do the work here. Finding that balance between effort of reaching through the fingertips and surrendering to the pull of gravity. And starting to lengthen the breath again. Inhaling a little deeper and exhaling a little fuller. Let's take about 3 more breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling, really reaching through the fingers. Last breath. And very slowly, we'll go ahead and start coming out of the pose. And all of our movements are going to be very slow and controlled. So anytime you need to come out of a pose, make sure you do it very slowly. Our next pose is going to be thread the needle. So you're going to come onto all fours. And we're going to be taking our left hand and we're going to bring it through the hole here. And we'll bring the head all the way down to the mat. We'll be twisting through the upper back. Now, if for some reason you can't reach your head down all the way, you can put your head on something to help with height, like a block. If you're having trouble twisting, you can also use a block under your right hand to help twist. Just gives it a little bit more height. So really breathing into the upper left scapula or shoulder blade area. And each exhale helps you to relax. Making any micro adjustments so that you're nice and comfy. This will be here for about 3 minutes. So make sure comfort is a priority. You want to stretch and lengthen the connective tissue without injury. So it's very important to not push past your stretch threshold. So finding your breath here, sometimes twisting, it's a little bit harder to breathe. And that's when it's most important to find that steady breath. So inhaling and exhaling. We'll take 5 more steady breaths here. Try and make your breaths a little bit longer so that you're inhaling deeper. And you're exhaling, I want you to squeeze that navel in towards the spine. So 4 more breaths, inhaling deeply and exhaling completely. 3 more. And last one. And very slowly pushing yourself back up to center. And then we'll be coming to the other side. So go ahead and make sure that you line up your foundation if you've moved. Your knees are under your hips, hands are under the shoulders. We'll be taking the right hand and we're going to go through the hole here between the hand and the knee. Bringing the right shoulder all the way down, head comes down. Again, you can use something under the head if you need to. Really pushing through that left hand, twisting into the upper back. And finding your breath. Each exhale helps you twist a little bit more. We'll take about 5 more steady, long breaths. And very slowly, after your 5th breath, push ourselves back up to all 4s. Our next pose is going to be melting heart, and there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to show you the beginner melting heart first. So with melting heart, we want to make sure our hips stay over our knees. That's very important, so make sure you're not collapsing forward or back, okay? We're going to bring our arms out all the way. This is also called puppy pose in other types of yoga. So you're just reaching forward with the hands, relaxing the head down. You want to try and keep those knees lined up with the hips. Now you can also make this easier by using a block underneath your forehead. This helps if you're not able to get all the way down. So this would be a modification as well. I feel like my hips are coming forward a little bit. Now, if you'd like to challenge yourself and you're not new to Yin Yoga, you can also take 2 blocks and line them up. And then with this, you'll take your elbows down on the blocks and relax this way. This is a wonderful, wonderful shoulder opener. So focusing on your breath here. So pick which one works best for your body. You can try all 3 and pick which one you prefer. And then we're going to hang out here for a few minutes. Again, finding your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Making any micro adjustments that you need so that you can be comfortable in your pose. Bringing your belly button towards your spine to support your low back. Every exhale allows gravity to help us relax just a little bit more. Let's take 5 more long, steady breaths here. Really focusing on our inhales and exhales. Trying to have equal length between the 2. And when you're ready, you can slowly come out of your position. You have your arms back behind your head. You can come to all 4s. You can remove those blocks now. And next we'll be coming into supported bridge. So with supported bridge, you can use a block or a book. You can also use a bolster. So our block is going to be to where it can support the hips. Now, if this is too hard for you, you can put a blanket over it as well. So we're going to lie down on our backs first. Then we're going to push through the heels to lift our hips. And we're going to bring our block right under the sacrum. So the sacrum is not the low curvature of the back, it's below that. Further down, closer to the glutes there. Now you can leave your knees bent here. You can also take your feet wide on the mat and just let your knees fall into the middle here. Or you can take your legs out long if it's comfortable. You want to just kind of play with placement so that you're nice and comfy. It's very important. Now I like to either open my arms up to get a little bit of stretch in the arms, or you can bring your hands up to cactus arms. So that would just be making an L shape with each arm. Just relaxing here, opening both the chest and the front of the hips. And finding your breath, finding your stillness. And if at any time this is uncomfortable, you can always bend the knees or straighten the legs or whatever makes you most comfortable. Each exhale is helping gravity open the hips, relax the legs. The legs are nice and heavy. Making sure that we're not clenching the jaw. We have our neck nice and relaxed. We're not holding tension anywhere that's unwanted. I'm going to take about 10 more breaths here. So I want you to count that to yourself in your head. Inhale and exhale is 1. After your 5th, 10th, after your 10th steady breath, slowly begin to bend one knee and then the other if you had your legs straight. And then we're all going to lift the hips, so pushing through the heels to lift the hips. And bringing the block out. We can windshield wiper those knees just a little bit, nice and slow. Remember, we're not trying to warm the muscle. Lengthening the legs all the way out. We're going to come into our banana pose. So with banana, we want to keep our hips and our shoulders firmly planted on our mat or our surface that we're practicing on. So we're going to take both legs over to our right side, stretching them over. And then we're going to bring our arms up over our head. Just make a C with our body. So we'll bring the arms up and then bring them out to the right. So we have a nice C or a banana shape with our body. Now you want to have your arms resting. You can also make a circle with the arms. Sometimes this helps to keep the shoulders planted on the mat. And so breathing into the side body here. You can stay here, or if you'd like to challenge yourself, you can take your left heel and cross it over the right ankle. This just gives you a little bit extra stretch. If you're already feeling a good stretch, you can definitely leave that firmly planted on the ground. So breathing into the side ribs, the low back, the hip. And every exhale, squeezing that belly button towards the spine. So inhaling, opening the ribs and the chest. Exhaling, letting gravity do the work. We'll take 5 more steady breaths here, nice and slow. Inhaling, stretching all that tissue around the ribs. Exhaling, bringing our belly button towards our spine and squeezing the core in, expelling all of our air. And after our 5th breath, we'll go ahead, if you've crossed your ankles, uncross first. And bring the legs back to neutral on your mat. And bring the upper body back to neutral as well. And see, just lay here for a moment and see if you feel a difference between one side and the other. And then we'll come to the other side, so bringing both legs out to the left, making a C with our body, and then bringing both arms up and out to the left, or making a circle with the arms. Really breathing into the side body here. And if you'd like to challenge yourself, remember you can cross that right heel over the left ankle. It's just more of a stretch for the side. So making any micro adjustments you might need so that you feel comfortable and you're able to lay here for a few minutes. So really breathing into the side, the ribs, the low back, and the hips. On our exhale, we're letting our body be nice and heavy with gravity as we're stretching and lengthening. Finding that balance between effort and surrender. Our effort is reaching over in this banana shape, and then really surrendering to the stretch. And quieting our mind now, let's focus on 5 long, steady breaths. Count those in your head. After your 5th long, steady breath, if you've crossed the ankles, go ahead and relax them. And then bring your legs back to center and your upper body back to center as well. Bringing the arms back down next to your sides. And just lying here for a moment, feeling what your body feels like after that intense stretch for the sides. Or a blanket or a bolster under the knees. Now would be a good time to put it there. And you can relax the head, the neck, the shoulders. If you have an eye pillow or a washcloth or towel that you can drape over your eyes, that will help relax you a little bit more. And you can have your hands down by your sides, palms facing up. You can also place your palms on your low belly, feeling your breath rise and fall. And we're going to stay here for a few minutes. This sometimes is the most challenging pose because it feels like you're doing nothing at all, which is the whole point. We're relaxing both our mind and our bodies. So I want you to focus either on your breath, or maybe you have a mantra you want to recite in your head. And just relax your mind. Anytime you have a thought that pops in, acknowledge that thought and just give it wings and let it float away just for a few moments. And I'll let you know when it's time to get up. Starting to lengthen our breath now, inhaling deeply into the low belly, filling the low belly like a balloon with air. And exhaling, squeezing that belly button towards the spine. And we'll take one more breath here. Again, inhaling deeply. And exhaling completely, wiggling the toes, opening and closing the hands. And when you're ready, you can bring one knee very slowly and the other knee in. And just rock those knees from side to side, windshield wipering the legs. And letting both legs fall over to the right side. If you've got something covering your eyes, you can just let that fall off. There's no need to move it or worry about it. And push yourself up to a seated position. So sitting up nice and tall. You can sit cross-legged or straight-legged or however legged you want to that it's comfortable. Now keeping the eyes closed, we're going to go ahead and just ground ourselves. So we want to imagine roots coming from our sits bones, the bones that we're sitting on. And those roots are helping us to root ourselves into our daily lives, to be present, to be mindful, and to love ourselves. Pushing the palms together in prayer position, feeling the warmth between the hands, dipping the chin towards the chest, taking one final breath here, inhaling deeply, and exhaling completely. And when you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, keeping your gaze low, and slowly bringing the head back up to center. And this is where we say namaste. So thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed our yin session together. Be sure to check out the other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time.